Hello folks, what we have tonight, excuse the e-cig smoke, right, is what's going to be showing on the back of that. Let's take a look down below. So, this is titled A Tale of Two Seikos. Think of that then. I don't know if you can see the faceting on the dial. What this is, right, that is a 7009-5350 case. But instead of the correct movement inside and that, it's actually got a 7S26-1054 movement and dial in it. Now look, I paid £12 for this, and it's just really weird. Like, let's have a look at the movement. No, I don't know if you can see that. Now what they've done is I disguised the very fact that it is not the correct. It's a 7S26. Right. What they did was they fitted like an aftermarket rotor to it, and then they ground off and sanded off like all the bridges and everything, all the stuff that tells you it's a Seiko 7S26. Right, and they just covered it in like that magic dip rhodium. Now, unfortunately, it's missing its case back gasket, which means that this closes down too far, if you know what I mean. So what I have to do is I have to like, I leave it, what I do is I do it up like finger tight, and then when I need to wind it up, which I'm doing one a day, I just undo it 3 turns, give it a good like 2-minute like, you know, agitate. And away it goes. It's keeping absolutely spotless time. Absolutely, like, you know, I mean, I've got it set up to like, you know, to the seconds, like on the clock. It's not losing a beat. It's keeping good day, everything. All the functions work. The pusher, on you push it in, it advances the day. Like, you pull it out 1 notch, you can advance the date. And then pull it out another notch and you can set the time. I mean, what's not to love? And I came up with the idea. I had one of these spare, these what I call boiler plates off of an old Okian. So I polished it up, and I reckon that looks the business. That's definitely, I think, £12 for that. A Seiko, like a Seiko 7S26, I think is bloody good going. I mean, in that case, what's not to love? You know, it's a really unusual looking square case. Let's just slap it on. There you go, look at that. Now, before I actually started polishing it looked just a bit like that. Very, very, like, you know, like matte. Don't they look the business, eh? Absolutely, like, you know, it's holding a good power, and it's thanks to my retro watches that when I first got it, like one of the fingers was not quite engaging on the auto, so it was only winding one way. And I was watching, and I had looked through some of his videos and that, and I managed, and like whoever put this together, like they hung on to the screws, like, you know, like with a like pneumatic drill sort of thing. I mean, I had to undo them all because they were really tight in, and like I let it all kind of settle itself. But that's all applied. Like, you know, there's no fake dial. And that faceting on the sunburst is beautiful. It really catches the light. clean crystal, no scratches on it, none of that stupid black marker stuff on it. Right, you know, the rehalt is where it should be. And, you know, for an Indian watch, this is very good quality. Because usually they're shit, like, you know, to put it bluntly. So what else have I been doing? Like, I've been playing musical straps. Right, I bought this off of that eBay seller I mentioned a lot, LAWR389. Right, and I bought this turquoisey blue NATO, which I think suits this blige up beautifully. It looks and feels very nice on the wrist. And when I took I took the strap that was on that for this, my Pulsar V693, that's the Gakota one, and I think that suits that brilliantly. That really does suit that brilliantly, and it feels nice as well. So I'll lift you up a bit. You'll see how much work I've been doing, like, you know, getting all my collection sorted. I mean, look at that. Can you see? There's something like 50 watches there. That's a lot. So, there you go. Let's have a nice gratuitous look at that. So, yeah, so this is like a tale of two secondas. Like, secondas? What did I say secondas for? Seiko's. You know, a 7009 case with a 7S26 shoved into it, which you can do. I mean, it is quite a common mod, is to put a 7S26 into a 7009 or vice versa. You know, I just think that has come up beautiful. And that Peak's polish, it just done the business, like, you know. That is, I haven't taken it off the last 2 days since I've had it, you know. Yeah, I really must give a big thanks to Mike at My Retro Watches, like, you know, because, like, he's brilliant, he is, with his stuff. Right, we'll take it to the up view and we'll do some more. So, we'll have the gratuitous wrist shot. I mean, this is still a work in process, but, you know, you can see why I went with this. So I originally was thinking of transferring one of, because I bought a couple more of these again. I bought a few of these, and I bought a couple of gold ones of these as well. You know, and I thought, yeah, that might have done it, like, you know, but I like that. I do like that, you know. It's, it does the business, you know. That's a bit dented there, like, you know, I might find another replacement for that, you know, but, you know, look at that, £12, Seiko, vintage Seiko, you know, I don't know if you can see it, it's fingerprint magnet, that crystal is, but, you know, I don't know if you can see the faceting in the sunburst. There you go, look at that. That's beautiful. I like a lot of these other Seikos, like, you get, like, you know, where, like, they put this black paint on the inside of the, or fused into the glass, and it covers up, like, details and that. And it was only by taking the movement out I could actually find the tiny little writing at the bottom. It says 7S26 and it -1054. You know, which then I looked it up, and then I saw, yep, that's the proper dial and everything, like, you know, so fair play. And I got this from a seller called Royal Time Now. He's in India, and his stuff always seems to work well, like, you know, I've not had any bad ones from him, whereas, like, the one I got my Orient from and something else from, like, the Orient was just a pile of poo. So, you know, but I got the Rico from him, I got that funny looking Roma off of him, I've got the other Seiko 709 off of him. Have I got that over there? No, I don't. You know, and, I have been buying, I don't know why I bought it, but it came up really cheap. I bought this as well. It's a two-tone. I'd originally bought it for this, but unfortunately the lug pattern for this was just too far in for this to actually reach. And but this is like, I don't know if you can see that, it's like gold, and I think I paid a few pounds for this. I mean, it was brand new and it's plastic and everything. It's like curved ends and all that. Like, you know, I am not going to complain. So what else have I been doing? Right. Fortunately, I lost the footage when I was polishing this. So that's why I've been getting some other ones out. Like, and I am doing a polishing video as, like, you know, as a thing. And this one's going to be one of the victims, and I'm going to give this Alba a go. It's Alba, Seiko, and my other Oscar Mill is going to get a go as well. Oh yeah, and this one. Because as you can see, that's kind of matted itself off, like, you know. So when that's working. Oh yes, it is. It's pardon. This one needs service. It's running slow. I've got to get to the bottom why this was working beautifully, holding very good time, and now it just doesn't do anything at all. It's just absolutely not, you know, it's just not doing a thing. Right, you know, I've still got 2 more of these for spares. So, I mean, like, you know, if I hold something up that's like a project or something, like, you know, and there's some of you watch people out there who fancy a go, you know, send me a message, like, you know, I mean, if you fancy having a try at something, like, you know, things like, you know, I've got absolutely tons. I've got, like, you know, I've got about 45 things in my project box, so I'm pleased with that. That was just right. That was, you know, black PVD, what you call it, that's LAWR 389. He hand makes every single one of these, like, you know, he uses the best quality gear, like, you know, he doesn't use cheap Chinese rings or anything like that. He uses the best, he uses British made yarns, like, you know, I mean, really, you know, really high quality stuff is, right. And if you ever see these Gakotas, brilliant. Look how thin that leather is. It's so soft. It's almost like kid leather. It's really, really soft. You know, and I have been getting, I mean, this turned up, but I've been getting a lot of wear out of this. I love this. You know, this is very exotic for me. So, you know, I thought I'd, like, you know, have a bit of a catch up, say hello and everything, like, you know. I mean, I bought myself a new hat because I'm going to find my spare Soviet cockade and stick it right there, like, you know. I'm going to walk around like old President Castro. You know, I've got the beard going for it, actually, like, you know. It's just that, you know, I'm cold, like, you know, all the time, and my feet is, like, really, really cold. Like, I couldn't get to sleep last night because my feet were so cold and numb and painful. It kept me awake, and it was pretty, like, you know, miserable. Although it is, I can feel it is warming up now a bit, like, you know. So, I mean, there's not been a lot going on, like, you know, really. I mean, I haven't got anything much really in the works. I mean, I've bought a couple of new batteries for this because these old E-Fests that I've got in there, like, you know, are, like, you know, beginning to, like, show their, like, you know, I mean, they're only good for 500 recharges. They're 500 to 1,000 recharges. I've easily given them a 500 charge on that, like, you know. So, I mean, on this, I don't think I like the bracelet on that, you know, because this is brushed, and I'm thinking that, you know, I want something that matches the chrome. The brushing doesn't go well with the brushing on there. I mean, that's lovely. I do like that. I'm so glad I've got that, and I'm so glad that, you know, the seller, 2012 PUTNIK, 2012 Putnik, right? You know, he was such a geezer, like, you know. He said, right, can't get it sent to you. Here's your money back. When I can get it sent to you, right, you know, I'll give you a message, a link, put it back up, private sale sort of thing, and it's still yours. So, you know, and I mean, he played a really fair game, because he could have taken the money and just sodded me off, but he didn't, and that's why I will buy from him all the time. You know, it's like I buy a Bestros. Bestros is brilliant. If you want anything Vostok, Bestros is the man you need to see. Right, you know, because he can get anything. All you got to do is give him a message and say, hey, can you get me that? He says, yeah, I'll have a look, you know. And that's what I like, it's the can-do attitudes, you know. I do like that. You know, look at the size difference, like. There's a big old Soviet beast. You know. So that's another Seiko in the fold. Once I get the gasket for this, which I have ordered, it's a 29.8mm by 0.7mm gasket. So said my contact at Seiko. So, you know, like, because sometimes, like, you know, on the standard 709, it would be a 0.5 gasket. You know, because obviously the case back's got to go in that bit, but it's like pack it out a bit. That's why they said get us 0.7. So it just gives you that tiny fraction. It just pushes the case back out enough to allow the rotor to rotate. So I may buy a glass case back for this anyway, because you can buy them where, like, you know, you scrape the numbers off. So, like, you know, it just says generic Seiko stuff, except it hasn't got, like, you know, like 7S26. I mean, if I can find a 7S26 1054 case back for it with the glass, I'll just go with that, because that's what this is, you know. I mean, the 1054 is a square Seiko, so I think it's bloody nice, isn't it? Well done for me finding that for £12. You know, without any postage, £12 incomplete, and it's got a beautiful sound to it. I mean, it's really holding good time, you know. What more do you want? Like, you know, I mean, what's that, 1970s, 1980s piece? Like, what more do you want for 12 quid? You know, a vintage watch that tells time perfectly. Seiko, a brand. And if you look, like, you know, it's applied markings. It's not painted on or glued on or bloody fingerprint magnet. You know, those are actually applied. They're not fake ones. You know, everything is just gorgeous. You know, bit of black and gold. I mean, I quite like the Seiko and the Seiko 5 when it's applied. You know, and that's the thing. The Indians can't fake them. Like, you know. So I'm going to leave that with you. I'm hoping that this all finds you well, and you know, I will see you in the next one. Look after yourself, stay safe, stay legal, and all the rest of it. Like, you know, toodle pipski.